A few years ago, you partnered up with the founders of Digital Twin, Adrian and Natalie. You partnered up with Laid Back Llamas as well. And this breaks my brain because I cannot imagine how physical, tangible object like jewelry can collide with these worlds. So how do they collide? What is the overlap?
It's funny you say that because we talked about most jewelry is bought, especially like you said in India, people buy with the idea of handing it down.
Yeah.
Now, currently we do that with just the idea that you're my son, I'm going to hand it down to you, or your partner or your sister, whatever. The idea with digital twin was, and what it says in its name is that, most jewelry doesn't reduce in value over time. It mostly actually based on its provenance might even increase in value based on where it's been, where it's like what showcase it's been in, who's worn it, whatnot. So the idea was that, hey, if there's a way we can chain the entire history of like a piece of jewelry, we can really add more value to it than it actually even exists. It also played as a proof of receipt, which was, again, on the chain. So if you look at a Rolex watch these days, the resale market is, in fact, 10 times more than actually just buying it from a Rolex store itself, to the point where Rolex has now started actually dabbling into their own resale market because it's such a power play. So if all these transitions were made on chain, it would be much more transparent to see efficiency, authenticity, to find certain products. Great for brands who are getting none of the percentage of the resale, right? So we really wanted to give back to the actual makers their version, their little, let's say, their commission on each of these resales, because obviously they're the carriers and they are the designers and the brand that actually created the demand for it in the first place. So there were many different elements. The idea was just to have them, obviously crypto, we were like trying to also tap into a new market, people who had a lot of cryptocurrencies and wanted to buy jewelry. So it was one more way of like accepting a form of payment as well.
You're also now working with AI, I believe.
Yeah.
How do those worlds collide?
So, as you may have realized, or when we've spoken about, technology has always been the forefront of everything I do, whether it's my brand or just, how I lead my life. Tech is a really great way of making sure brand remains to the modern times, especially if you're not a huge corporate that's putting in a lot of $1 million into just marketing and R&D. So what you use in return is tech, whether it's, like you said, R&D costs, reaching new clientele, like all the social media that's out there. What we're creating in AI, which is separate from the brand the business and the brand, me individually, is creating a text to design prompt. And we actually have a demo ready. It works. It's beautiful, where we guide you through a series of prompts and it gives you the final design straight away. Now this is I've been breathing it for the last few weeks. It's going to be amazing because you're going to be able to, what would have taken possibly 20 or odd days to just have about 2 minutes to come up with a concept or an idea ready to possibly put into production eventually. So added layers will be getting an estimate cost. I mean, the end goal possibly is like a marketplace, but that's all a little bit more in the future. Right now, we're just really focused on the text prompt to design aspect and really getting that right. It's so, you can basically say an emerald ring with hearts around it and Art Deco in the style of Art Deco in white gold, and it'll give you 4 options that meet that prompt. And the idea is then to reprompt it and be able to like customize even more so.
Are stylists going to get replaced by prompt engineers?
Designers, you mean, right?
Or designers, I guess.
Yeah. Right. Like the stylists, just designers could end up using it. It's just that there is such a gap between actually having a design ready. I think the huge company and corporates have so many of their designers in-house, but what about like mom and pops that are just starting out, or just a husband looking to create a design for his wife, an engagement ring, and really wants to be part of like the design aspect of it? Yeah. Or what about, someone just is having a birthday and wants to give 10 of her friends like unique looking studs and doesn't really need to go hire a designer for. There are so many use cases for this. I really, really like the gift make gift giving idea where you can really be part of the design process without having any skill sets and really visualizing. And then you don't really need to hire a designer for that. If you can just, most people just go on Pinterest anyway, and then they give it to a manufacturer. This at least feels authentic to your design, right? And then also just, for example, if I have a pair of 2-carat emeralds at home or rubies at home, and I don't really know what to design, I can actually tell that 2-carat round, give me styles in like the style of a heart, and it gives me all these beautiful designs. So I feel like big corporates can make a use of this, but I think they will also make use of this with consumers that come in, not necessarily like trying to replace their designers per se. I think people who are going to be using this aren't really using designers anyway, but this is actually just giving them a more personal touch to what they're creating.
Yeah, I love it. Make it more accessible to them. Where do you think jewelry is heading? Let's talk about the future of jewelry. I think it's very interesting. I think over the last 100 to 200 years, jewelry hasn't changed much. And I know this is a stupid thing to say because of course it's changed. Like people have gotten a lot more creative, designs have gotten better, materials have changed. They started using machines, it's become a lot more precise. But what I mean is on a macro level, if you look at a necklace from let's say 200 years ago, maybe some aristocrat wore it.
Yeah.
It would still fall in the same family of a necklace that you see today. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's still going to be the case moving forward, this physical object that you have, as we move more into the world of metaverse, Web 3.0, AI? Do you think this physical object goes away, completely loses value? The digital twin of it starts gaining more in value? Or do you feel like the physical, tangible objects are always here to stay?
Physical, tangible objects are always going to be here to stay, just like the fashion you wear and the haircut you get. And as we live in a society which not judges us, but perceives us based on how we look, and we give an impression and we want to convey a certain aura about us based on how we look, it's going to be a way to storytell without having to, like we discussed earlier. It is a way to create a story about yourself and really, put an aesthetic to yourself without actually having to say a lot. So in that sense, it's your body, and you're going to want to accessorize it in ways that really make you happy. And I think one of the major power plays that will combine future and jewelry is technology and jewelry combined. So basically your aura rings will be more glamorous in the future. Your iWatch will be a little bit more chic, as already there are so many collaborations that the iWatch has with Hermes or like other luxury brands that are creating straps for them. So it'll be almost like, what do you call it? Functional jewelry. So like jewelry that will have like, that people are coming out with AI devices that you'll be able to hang off just as a necklace.
NFT pendant screens as well.
And so like there'll be like dual purpose when it comes to like wearing that kind of jewelry on you.